does it for right now. Thank you for coming. We're very happy to have Christopher back here. I have to always read from the card because his credentials go on and on. I'm just going to give you a few. He currently holds the Gerard A. Bertrand Chair of Natural History and Field Ornithology at the Mass Audubon. He's been a professional conservationist for over 35 years and currently is the director of the Mass Audubon Center for Biological Conservation. His interests in natural history are quite comprehensive, and he's a recognized authority on birds and insects. As you'll see if you attend the lecture tomorrow night, he's going to be part of the Chamber of Commerce Birding Weekend, which is going to be wonderful. It's going to take place on the back shore, starting at the Elks. There's schedules all around town in the paper, and Chris will be speaking there tomorrow night on winter birds on Cape Ann. He's quite a prolific writer and editor in the field, and we're very pleased and honored to have him tonight to talk to you about the nature of Cape Ann.
Great. Thanks so much, Carol, and thank all of you so much for turning out for this. It's a wonderful crowd, and I appreciate that. If I speak at this level, can you people in the back, Martin, can you hear me okay? Can people in the back hear? Because if you can't, I will use the mic, but I'd rather not, just because I've got to juggle these two things. If it's okay with you folks in the back, if you can hear well enough at this level, I'll start at least without the mic, but you'll all raise your hands if you're having trouble hearing me. Is that a deal? Okay. Some of you may have heard my bird talk last year or whatever, and I'm giving something, I never do the same talk twice, but I'm going to be doing something similar at the Elks. By the way, I have brochures here for the birding weekend. In addition to the talk, I'm going to be leading, one of the bus trips and on the boat trip and all of that kind of stuff. So I think it's going to be a fun weekend, especially if you dress properly. So I hope many of you will join us. This is an event that we've tried to make, that Mass Audubon and the Chamber have tried to make for everybody. It's not for hardcore birders, although there'll be some of those there, especially on the boat trip. It's for everybody. So, and parts of it are completely free. You can come drop by the Elks, see the displays. We've got some bird watchers freezing their buns on the rocks there who will be there all day to show people things without charge and all of that. So if you're inclined to learn something and see some of these cool birds that we have here, please turn out and do that. And I'll remind you again at the end, we've got some brochures here that give you the events of each day. But that's tomorrow, that's starting tomorrow. And tonight, what I've got in mind is something quite different. What I'm going to try to do is, rather than focus on one group of organisms or something like that, I'm going to try to give you kind of an overview of the natural history of Cape Ann. I think probably all of you in this room know what an incredibly beautiful place we live in and appreciate that at a very high degree. I'm going to try to show you some of the details sort of the natural world. And the point here is not for you to sort of take notes and become instant ecologists or biologists or naturalists or whatever. It's really to have fun. And I've tried to as great extent possible, I've tried to pick things that are not just, something that everybody knows about. There's not a single gull picture in this, for example. I've tried to pick some organisms, and I've tried to pick things that are characteristic of Cape Ann. They don't exist only on Cape Ann, but we do have some quite unique habitats here and some organisms that live here, and I'm going to try to emphasize those, and of course show you some pretty pictures. Most of you will recognize this. This is Halibut Point, the wonderful heathland at Halibut Point, and I'll talk a little more about that very interesting habitat a little bit later.